Another 2NL Bankroll challenge, play and explain, and I was gonna say that we are on a roll. Last time so many things went well for us, and then before I even set this up here I already got stacked, and in this case here I 3-bet and I have to fold to a large 4-bet, unfortunately. So yeah, what happened there? Well, I did what I usually preach not to do. And so this is here, there was a limp under the gun, then this guy made it 5x in the hijack. I have ace king suited, make it 18, and then both of them call. And then on king queen jack, I checked the flop, and then this guy here who limp called, first he limped for one big blind, then he called the 18 big blinds. He now bets half pot, and I kind of thought that he might have two pair there, but then again, I just didn't think that I would ever want to really fold, and therefore I just jammed, and maybe I should have taken it a bit slower, but the SPR was not much bigger than 1.5 or so, and that's why I went for the jam. And he has, as you can see here, king queen suited. So yeah, I mean, you could say we got unlucky. I think I also made a bit of a mistake there, but it wasn't huge because I didn't think that he would have better than two pair. I mean, of course, ace 10 or 10-9 is a possibility, but I think against his range where it's probably quite close, to be honest, but because of the draws there, I thought maybe he bet something like jack 10, queen 10, maybe a couple of spades. But thinking more about it now, of course, with the hindsight view, I think I should probably not have called there. But the thing is, like, do I fold in that spot? So this is a very, very tricky one. And here on the right, we now have top pair, but I am going to check. And he now bets 3 big blinds. I don't expect him to have a massive hand when he does that. And now that he checks, can we go for a really thin value? I just don't think that he has anything better than an ace there. So I am gonna go for a almost half pot bet, hoping that he just calls with a 10, but it didn't happen. And here this guy limped on the button. We have 10 deuce off, the Doyle Brunson hand. Not gonna do much with it. But yeah, so we have some digging to do today. And okay, so this is interesting here. I'm going to 3-bet with king jack off. Here, because he made 3.5x and he's a very aggressive player, I will just fold my ace-5 suited. Well, I don't think it, even in equilibrium, it's super profitable to 3-bet, and definitely not calling with this rake structure. And here we do get a fold again, which is nice. Here we have top pair, top kicker against a very tight player. I am going to start with a check out of position against the button. Now that he checks again, I am going to go quite big. I won't overbet it because there are quite a few flushes available. And the problem now is, not flushes, sorry, straight. And the problem now is that we lose to a 10, but we can still get some value from a few things. So I'm gonna go third pot. And he does have jack 9. Yeah, I kind of thought this was a bit thin, but the problem is I never want to check call there, and check folding with top pair is also not ideal. So yeah, speaking of not ideal start to this session, but hopefully it will get better. And yeah, this one was another one where maybe I did make a mistake to go so, I mean, I didn't go big there. But I did think, the problem is, what can I get called by on this board? Because any queen unless it's precisely... Oh, this guy is short stack, sorry, I'll continue that thought later. Just calling with ace-5. Here I am going to 3-bet my ace-queen off. Have a gut shot. He makes it quite big, which is surprising, and we don't have a lot going for us. And here, okay, I'm going to start with a range bet. I am just going to fold to this big bet just because there is not that much behind, so we don't have a lot of implied odds. And now this is interesting. We have top 2 in a 3-bet pot, and this guy now just donks into us. I definitely won't fold, so I am calling. Here we have pocket queens and going to raise them, and this is a really, really gross spot now. Once again, we have 2 players who say that they have something really big. It's a 3-bet pot. Need to be good. There's 330 in the middle. I'm calling 60, so that's like better than 5-1. And I think I just have to call this one off, but I expect to probably not be very good. But yeah, look, we have 92%. Excellent. This is great. I almost folded. No, I didn't really almost fold, but I wasn't so convinced that we would really be ahead. But I thought for that price, we definitely have to call. And let's just look at the hand again, what these guys had. So by the way, 6-3 suited against a 3 big blind raise on the button. I'm not going to call that. This is a losing proposition. Here against this tight player, I'm opening king 8. And now on this board, I'm just going to start with a check out of position. Give him the opportunity to make a mistake. Definitely calling here with my king. And I mean, now he shoves. I mean, these players sometimes, like, of course I won't call 64.5 big blinds, but yeah, interesting. Okay, so here, okay, pre-flop, this guy called ace-10. I mean, he is really not a great player. And then on the flop, he called, this is also incredible, on the flop where he has ace high on queen 7-3, doesn't even have a backdoor flush draw, he just calls next to act when there is someone else behind him. And then this guy also called with 2 overs and a backdoor, which, okay, I don't mind, but because, actually I do mind it, because there are 2 players and he can't know that this guy is so loose there. Okay, now just having to concentrate here. I'm going to just call this one with second pair. And now he might have hit the king there. Shall I go for a check raise? No, I probably won't. I will just... If he has a king, he might call me, so I'm going to overbet this one. But unfortunately he folds. Okay, so back to this hand. So this guy, yeah, I do not like the overcall with the ace-king. I would actually probably have jammed pre-flop with a kind of dead money here of this guy. But anyway, he called. Then on the turn, what was the action? I think oh yeah, he now donged. So this guy checked, and then he donked here with the ace-king. Then we called, and this other guy jammed, and he called the jam. Just really crazy stuff. I mean, both of these players played it absolutely terribly, but this is where our profit margin comes from at 2NL. Not that we haven't made mistakes. Unfortunately, I absolutely can't say that, but we are up 1 buy-in pretty much, which is great, and I am going to 3-bet this one for the reason, okay, this guy now on the left table went all in, definitely folding, and here we got it through. The reason why I 3-bet ace-9 off there was, first of all, we were on the button, so that's pretty good against a cutoff open, and I saw that he had folded 88% of the time to 3-bets, so that made me quite confident that we would get it through. And if not, if he calls, obviously if he 4-bets, it's an easy fold, and if he calls, we still have ace high, we are in position, and we hopefully have a bit of a skill edge, so that's fine. And now it's quite similar here with the ace jack off, although this is a better hand now. And here against this guy, I'm just going to call, to check with my jack 8, I mean. And can we get him to fold anything better? I mean, as silly as it sounds, we might even have some sort of showdown value. Do we? Yeah, I think now, if I would have had to go for 2 bets, he checks, and jack 9! Oh, this is annoying. This was really annoying that he had jack 9 and we had jack 8, and we lost that pot, but it was such a tiny pot. I'm okay with that. Jack 10 I will open in the small blind against a rather tight player. And we're getting punished. He makes it 10x. Nothing I can do. Don't want to fold. Okay, so this guy is fairly tight. The problem is he makes it 3 big blinds, and with this high rake, can I ever call profitably? I think especially with this guy behind, I don't want to do that. I will just fold this one, even though it looks so nitty. Ace 3 suited, just about a call against 3 big blinds at this rake structure. So yeah, I have knitted up a lot, as I said. And wait a moment, here we do have, we can go for an overbet now. And he calls, and now that we have the ace, we can actually go for another bet. And here on the right, we are going to 3-bet. Let's see, what did he have? Oh, he had pocket kings. Wow, we got lucky there. Very lucky, but better to be lucky than good. Okay, here on the left table, starting with a range check out of position, and he makes it just over half pot, easy to fold. So yeah, I was saying that I want to play much nittier than I used to, because I do think that the main way to make money here is not by playing marginal hands with such a high rake structure, but the best way is to just play super tight and really for value, and then also do a lot of 3-betting in position pre-flop, but not really by calling much. And here I'm going to call ace 8 suited. We're completely whiffing this flop, and here I'm gonna 3-bet my 6s, and here I'm just gonna fold my ace high. I'm okay with that. Don't even have backdoors or so. So I think we can fold. Ace king off. Definitely an open on the button. And sadly everyone folds. Although I say sadly, but actually with ace king you kind of want folds, because you have to make a lot of money, especially with this rake, to justify, or not justify, but to make it worthwhile that someone calls. So of course with aces it's a different story. Okay, here this is a tricky one. I will deviate from my range check because it's a king high board, and okay, we're getting raised, so that's an easy fold now. But the thing is, like, I would have to just check fold if he bets, and he might bet all sorts of nonsense, whereas I thought he might even fold a pocket pair that didn't connect with a board, so that's why I tried to c-bet there. Didn't quite go right. Okay, just marking this player as a non-crusher, as we call them here. and this buddy here as well, if I can do it. So fold and non-crusher and fold, and now we have ace king again. Okay, with ace king I'm going for a 3-bet here. Oops, I almost accidentally shoved. Here calling. Ooh, interesting board. Okay, he makes it very small, which is what he should do. Definitely calling here. Let's see what he does now. He sizes up. I'm still going to call this one. And now he is going quite big again. So he's basically triple barreling, saying that he has something. I mean, I only have a bluff catcher, and would he go that big? I think he might go with pocket kings or so. I think I'm gonna fold. Here, I wanted to check raise, but because he makes it so big, I will just call, and now the king is annoying, and he just shoves. So these players who just shove at these stakes, what do we do there? I mean, we only beat a bluff or a jack that's overplayed, which I don't think is what's happening. So I will have to fold my queens, sadly. Sadly, sadly. Okay, some not so playable hands now. Yes, I don't know why Pokerstars have introduced this new thing where they show the next cards after someone folded. They're not actually revealing the cards, but they just put them out there. And I wonder why. What's the point of that? I think it only slows down the action, because I think it takes a little longer than if they didn't show it. Maybe it doesn't, in which case it doesn't make a difference, but I just think it doesn't add anything. I don't know how you see that, but I just think it doesn't add anything, and so I don't quite understand why they had to do that. But anyway, it doesn't stop us from playing here. Although I will say that maybe soon I will pick another platform. By the way, ace-10 off against a 3.5x raised from under the gun is a fold in the small blind. And I'm going to fold queen-10 off here as well in the cutoff. So yeah, maybe I will move to a different platform. I'm just in negotiations with another platform. I can't reveal it just yet, but let's see, I might play somewhere else in a few weeks' time, which might be fun. And you'll see that platform is actually quite cool, so I would love to do that. But I will let you know when I will do that, and don't worry, I will still play these sort of stakes, and I will possibly even do something else if that all materializes. And now we have pocket kings, but yeah, so I don't know yet, it's not finalized yet, but I'm hopeful that we can do that. Okay, here with pocket kings, I am going to bet quite big here, especially with a flush draw, and I am going to check to 3-bet my jack-10 suited. Okay, we get this one through, that's great. Okay, sadly we got a fold there where we had the kings. Yeah, so actually just asking you, what are your favorite sites? Do you play on Pokerstars? Are there any other sites that you recommend? I have been thinking of changing for quite a while, and yeah, I just wanted to know what your opinion is on specific sites. Okay, so we got called, and we don't really have much, but I do think that we can get him to fold now. He might have just called with ace high. And yep, that's what's happening, which is very good. Okay, so here I think I'm gonna just check range as I usually do, especially on a 9 high board, as I'm happy for him to stab, which it doesn't do, which means that now I am going to go for a bet myself. And I'm gonna bet, unless an overcard comes, then we'll see, or even if the 9 pairs. Might not, although I think he would probably have bet a pair, so I don't think he really has much. Okay, the king is not great for my hand, but it's good for my range. I am going to still bet this one. I'm going to go 9 big blinds because I can still get called by weaker. Here I called king 4 suited, which is quite marginal. And when he bets just over half pot, I think I want to fold. Yes, we haven't hit a lot of flops, but we did hit a few good ones. Okay, we have another limper. We can just fold. Okay, ace 5, go either way. I am gonna 3-bet because he made it so pathetically small, just 2 big blinds in the small blind. That's just not what you should do. But that's what happens, especially at 2NL. There are a lot of players with leaks. And yeah, actually, tell me, what is your favorite leak? Well, not your favorite leak, but the leak that you have discovered that is really prevalent at 2NL? Because I have my favorite one. I know what it is, and in the next video I will tell you what it is, but first I just want to hear your opinions. So just leave a message. Okay, so here is now I will just limp in as well, because I only have to put in half a big blind. Sadly, not that much for us this flop, but against so many weak players, I really liked limping in there as well. Raising, I think, would not really have done much. I would have had to go very big there, and I might still have gotten callers. Here on the left, I 3-bet this with my ace, and now what we can do is I will just range bet this one quite small. When he calls, okay, now we have a double gutter. Well, actually, the deuce is not that great for us. Actually, there it is. Here I am going to 3-bet the ace 3. Okay, he doesn't ever have a 6 there, but I don't want to pay more rake because he will most likely call, so I will just check behind. And he had pocket kings, so we got unlucky there actually. Here I'm going to range bet. Got unlucky there. Well, first I got lucky that the ace came on the flop. Okay, so here now after a range bet we get raised. And when this happens, and we don't even have a backdoor flush draw, I mean, not that I would call with a backdoor flush draw, but this is a very easy fold. So, yeah, no reason to stick around. And king 7, I mean, we have position, so I will call. Although it probably is marginal with this rake. And here I will just call again with my king high, simply because we have position. 6-4 suited, I will bet, and now we can start putting pressure on him with our open ender, and this is how you make money at these stakes, because they often have the one and done strategy, and out of position this is just not that great a strategy anyway. That's why I called there with basically nothing, and then I would have stabbed that on the turn anyway, even if I had not made an open-ender. And here on the right table we have top and bottom pair. So if he bets, I am going to check raise this one. I'm going to check raise it rather small. Okay, we're getting 3-bet by someone who seems to be on the more aggressive side, but I'll still fold. Okay, now this is not a great card for us, for our hand. I mean, it does give us a straight flush draw, but the problem is if he had an ace there, then this jack might have helped him to double pair. Definitely calling, and here I'm gonna 3-bet, and here I'm gonna check. And let's see what he does. I'm not in love if he bets, and I'm definitely not in love if he bets so big. Okay, now I give 2 decisions on both tables. 3-bet range is quite strong. I mean, I think I'm gonna be in. I know I can't be that much of a nit. I will call here in position, but here I think I will just let go of this hand. I mean, I have 2 pair, but he's saying he has something really big, so I will just have to fold. And now here on the left I will also have to fold on this board. This is very annoying, but we have to fold in both places. Okay, pocket 4s, I'm just gonna risk it and 3-bet. And same with king 7 here, because we're just getting so many folds. Okay, so this is not ideal. We're getting 4-bet. We're getting 4-bet here as well. So this one's an easy fold. With the pocket 4s, I will still also fold because I just think these pots are under 4-bet. In the last session, I don't think I got 4-bet at all. And now, yes, I got 4-bet twice within a few seconds. But before that, I didn't see many 4-bets. So I think I will give them respect when they 4-bet me. And that is still fine. Okay, 10-8 suited, I will raise. Pocket 7s, I will raise. Got a call. Okay, here I am going to c-bet this one, and I'm not going to c-bet this one. And now don't think I can really do too much, but I still, with 10 high, I just want to bet and then bet big on the river, but not necessary because he just folds the turn. That's the beauty with these passive players, that they just don't even attempt to steal it on the turn after I checked the flop. So then we can go for the delayed c-bet and just take it down. Okay, so king 9 suited, normally slam dunk open and 6 max, but because of the high rake structure, I think that it is actually not profitable. And same here on the right, ace 9 offsuit, not profitable against the 3 big blind raise from the cutoff or from any other position really, except for the small blind. And this will be the exception now because we're on the button. King 6 off is actually a fold, but here on the button, I think against passive players, that's fine. Okay, now this one is very interesting because I think I'm gonna 4-bet fold this one, because normally you could jam, but the thing is we got early raise and then early 3-bet, even though he is maybe on the aggressive or more aggressive side. I am going to c-bet this one quite small, and he does fold. Question is, why did I c-bet there? Well, it was just kind of a range bet, and I do expect him, if he has ace-jack or ace-10, that he calls there, but he might have had just a pocket nines or so, and then it was an easy fold for him. But yeah, I didn't want to jam there because of the early configuration. Also, I mean, jamming would have been silly. I wouldn't have jammed anyway because we're way too deep. Okay, here we're getting a free flop. And here I'm going to fold. Okay, so we had second pair, now we have third pair. And unfortunately, the ace is really not great for us. I will have to check it. And I actually think that we have the best hand. But the issue is that we're not going to get called by anything worse, I think. So I'm just going to check this one. And yes, as I said, we had the best hand there. And I just don't think that king high or queen high will call us. Okay, so on the left we will start with a c-bet. Let's go quite small. 5-4 suited again because we're on the button. I'm gonna raise this one, even though in general I want to tighten up. And we are getting 3-bet by someone who hasn't 3-bet much. Here 7-8 I will call even though he's short stacked. Okay, not a great flop. 7 I do have to call with this hand now. I mean, not that I do have to, but I will. And we flop 2 pair in a 3-bet pot, which is quite good. So if he bets, let me think about this. Do we want to? He is quite passive, but I will just call here. And of course now we lose to aces, ace, queen, and queens. But in this scenario, I'm definitely going to bet. And I want to bet 2/3 pot because if he has ace king or ace jack or so, I'm definitely getting called. If he has a flush draw, also getting called. But he folded, so that's okay too. I would have preferred him to call, but he probably didn't have an ace because I don't think an ace will just fold to my 2/3 bet there. Okay, so I think we're doing all right. We're still around a buy-in up. And we've got ace king again. We've had ace king a lot, but we haven't seen aces yet at all. And everyone just folded. Come on now. Okay, raise is fine. I'm gonna 3-bet obviously with ace king. Note that we are super deep, but we do have position. So in this case, if we get 4-bet to a normal size, we will call. Which is exactly what's happening. So he, of course, has aces, kings, some queens maybe, but definitely have to call. King, queen, going to open, of course. And now no reason to bet, just checking this one. And here I'm also going to just call the small bet in position. The ace is pretty good now with top pair, top kicker. We lose to... Okay, so now here I'm gonna go for a bet because I think I can get called by worse. I don't like that he keeps betting, but I have to call, of course. And the queen is not great either because now we lose to ace queen and ace 10. And I don't think he has pocket queens, although I wouldn't put it past someone here. And of course we still lose to aces. And And if he triple barrels this will be a close one, I can tell you that. And he does triple barrel it, but he goes so small on all of these that I will have to call. Here I'm going to 3-bet. I will have to call with these pot odds. We often chop here. I think this is quite likely. And so I will call. He did have the queens. I just said it. This is just insane. He did have the queens. He bet. He c-bet the flop and then the turn when the ace came, and then he lucks into his set there. That's very unfortunate. But hey, this is how it goes, and there's definitely no way I would fold there. And now we finally get 3-bet when we actually have a hand. This is great. So I am going to 4-bet this one. And again, notice we are quite deep actually. Could have made it much bigger, and unfortunately there is the ace there. So we do, this is a very tricky one. I'm gonna go with a small c-bet, which is not great, and we're getting not check raised, we're getting raised, min raised. I mean, this is already close, but I'm definitely going for the call. And let's see what he does. And now he bets really big, and unfortunately my kings now are not that great. I will have to fold. Okay, well, what can we do? Now, been a bit unlucky on two occasions. This is a really nice combo draw. And we still only have ace high, but I do think I might be able to get him off a bigger ace high if we overbet. And yep, I mean, maybe he had nothing, but still. Okay, we have ace jack. We got 3-bet by a really tight player, so I have to fold again. So yeah, unfortunately now it's not going that well. We are already in red, which is very sad after we had pretty good start. And here we have to just fold now with our ace jack against this donk with another player behind us. So yeah, without that player we could consider calling, but definitely folding there. But yeah, he probably didn't have a flush. Now let's see what he has. And he had the 9, okay. And what did the other player have? I missed that. He had queen jack with a queen of clubs, okay, and he did not bet the river. That's also interesting. You have to go for thin value all day there. Right, okay, let's see if we can swing back into positive territory after we had these two hands that went against us, where the guy rivered his set against our top pair, and where the other one where we had pocket kings in a 4-bet pot and the ace came and we had to fold. You could argue that I can fold to the min click on the flop already, but for 7 big blinds when we're that deep, we could just be clicking buttons there because I made it so tiny. But yeah, not going very well just now. But that's okay. We'll play for another 5 to 10 minutes. And we have ace king once again. Okay, there's a raise, and obviously we will 3-bet this. Queen jack off. I do not want to play in a multi-way pot, so I will just fold. And here, I mean, he min clicks it again to a 4-bet, definitely calling with ace king. Well, not really super happy. And now when he bets half pot there, I don't really see what I beat. I just don't think that he has I mean, I think I have to fold, like maybe as ace king, but I think he wouldn't have min clicked it. I think he probably has a hand, and I will just have to fold. And I also have to fold the queen 10, so yeah, the moment, bit frustrating. Nothing really working out. But what can we do? Okay, king 8, we get a walk, fine. Jack 10 suited in the small blind. Okay, this is a player who didn't start with a full stack, and can I get him to fold? I mean, this is bit a bit optimistic, I think, but I still think, even though we're in the small blind, I still think that we can probably make it work just about. And this guy cold calls the 3-bet. And now let's see if he raises again to pick up some dead money, or if he'll give us a free flop. I mean, it's not that free because we invested 10 big blinds, but you get what I mean. Well, now he's tanking. A7 off, not going to flick in that half big blind. Okay, so that's a pretty good flop for us. And I am going to c-bet this one. I mean, we have a combo draw. So with a combo draw, we're just gonna go all in. Yes, he might have a set, but still, like, any queen is good for us, and any heart is good for us. So I am definitely gonna go all in, even though we get snapped off. And he has a set of 3s. Wow, what a board for our hands. And we're only 33%, and we did not win the first one, even though we didn't win the second one either. Even though we hit a heart, well, now it's really not going our way. But that said, like with such a combo draw there, I just have to jam. There is not much else I can do. This is the only way I can realize my equity. And yes, it's very unlucky. I did not put him on pocket 3s there. I thought maybe a good ace or maybe even ace king, but this was very, very unlucky. And here on the right with second pair and a gut shot, I will call this one big blind bet. And here's another big blind bet. And with these pot odds, I just have to call once again. Even though I expect to lose, this guy's not making it. 2 big blinds, and now 11-1. Do we ever win this? 11-1. We have to be good about 8% or 9% of the time. Are we ever good with second pair on this board? I do not think so. I do not think so, but it's very close. It's very close. I'm folding, and oh, we would have been good. They both had a 5. Did they really just have a 5? No. No way. How on earth did this guy min click it with 4th pair? I am such an idiot, but okay. Right, this guy is quite on the aggressive side, so I'm happy to just bluff catch against him. And now he bets big again, but we did not filter his range at all, and he is very loose and very aggressive, so I'm definitely going to look him up here. And he did have it, okay. And what do we have here? We have an overpair, not an overpair, we have over cards. But against 2 players, I think, again, I will just have to give this one up. And I just want to see what this guy had here. Jack 9. So, okay, so he just rivered the jack and then he got paid. Well, okay. He rivered it, but I do think, like, my idea was right on the turn. He had an open ender when he bet quite big. And then he followed up with jack when he hit it. So yeah, not going very well, unfortunately. Let's see if pocket kings can change our fortune. And we didn't see what this guy had. I just tried to check that. Okay, and pocket kings obviously going to 3-bet. And here we have third pair. I'm a little bit tilted now. No, not really. Okay, sadly, no action there. And here we have second pair, but with 2 players. Again, I will fold. Well, this is just incredible. I got 11 to 1 on that one, and I folded, and then I would have won it. This is like really tilting. I mean, not really. I'm not really tilted, but it's still a bit sad. So let's see whether we made the right fold here. And we did, because he had pocket tens. He limped with pocket tens. Wow, that's also very interesting. Limped pocket tens. Okay. I mean, there are so many limpers tonight. So going to limp. Okay. Limped TT. Okay, 9-8 suited, definitely a fold against an early position raise to 3 big blinds. Call would be terrible there with this rake structure. A raise wouldn't be terrible, but not ideal, I think. Although, actually, it's fine. I don't think it's horrible. Okay, well, now this is annoying that this player is 3-betting us. Is there any merit in 4-betting? I think we might be able. Ooh, now we have the aces. So, but I think I'm just gonna fold. That's fine. And with the aces, as usual, we just get folds all around. I am used to that. Like, I feel like 85% of the time, I just never make more than the blinds when I have aces. But anyway, here not much for us to do in this limp pot, and I am going to sit out the next big blind on both tables and then take a tally and see how we have done tonight. I know it's not that great in the end because of those few very unlucky hands, but I still think, I mean, I did make maybe a couple of mistakes early on, but I think in general I'm okay with how I played. Not amazing, but it's okay. And against all these limpers, I am going to raise this one up quite big to 6 big blinds, even though I'm out of position. But we get folds all around, which is excellent. And this is it. So let's see how we did today. What is going on here? Oh yeah, no, I need to view stats, obviously. Today, why do we not have anything here? What did I do wrong? Oh, we're looking at tournaments. Yeah, no, I did not play any tournaments today. And this is also not correct because I need to do today. And today, yeah, as you can see, we lost quite a lot. We were doing really well here, and then we lost a lot. And we also ran a lot below EV. But unfortunately everything, even the red line, is negative, so this was just not a great session, but quite similar to last time, except this time we dropped even deeper, so we did okay up to here, and then a few hands just really messed everything up. But thanks for watching, and hope you'll be back next time. Thank you, bye bye.